They're either missing or completely disintegrated. Side rails all back to bare metal. Looks like a crime scene. I thought the missus would be very happy if I take that. Yellow green is from a domestic flex. A BSA Ariel hub, if that makes any sense, rather than the Ariel hub. Okay, so in this video, revisiting the BSA B31, yeah, we're just going to be doing a little bit more sort of cleaning up, a little bit of painting, rubbing back and painting some of the components, a little bit of detail on the mudguard fixings, what should be on there and what's missing. And also forks, we'll have a look at cleaning those down, painting those. I'll try to think what else there is. The little cowl on the front, we'll probably clean that back and give that a paint as well. And depending on time, well, we'll have a closer look at the rear wheel as well, and if we have time, I'll see how much length there is on the video. If it isn't too long, we'll do a little bit of reassembly. So well, let's get on with it. Okay, let's have a look at this. Just to come up with a little bit T-cut on it. Well, I have got some cutting compound as well, but that's a little bit more aggressive, shall we say. This is a bit gentler. Let's see how we get on. Don't do too much over that sticker there. Kind of feel it. It's quite rough. The paint, that is. Right. Just give that a little wipe. See how that looks. Yeah, just come up a little bit there, a little bit better. Bit of polish on there would look a whole lot better. Right, and I'll keep going with that over the whole thing, and then we'll have a look at it, see if we think that's going to be okay, or whether I need to paint it. I mean, a lot of this you don't see anyway. All this section here is under the rear light number plate, so none of that you see. This section back here is all hidden behind the oil tank and the toolbox, so you don't really see it anyway. That's really only this sort of area and right at the bottom. But yeah, let's keep going with it. I just now spent 10 minutes looking for the camera and I've left it on there. Oh dear. Right, mudguard. Yeah, actually I don't think that has come up too bad. I think I'll see what it looks like actually on there before I make a final decision, but that's not come up too bad. I did actually find, I had this knocking around for years, this stuff. Yeah, put some of that on there, and that's just brought the black out. There's a couple of bits that are still a bit dull, but yeah, I think I'm just going to see what it looks like. I mean, ideally if I had the money, I'd just get all the tinware powder coated. Yeah, that'd be the easiest thing to do. But for now, I think it's just go with what I got. I just touched up the paint in there. That looks a whole lot better. And there, not that you ever see that, but just keeps the rust at bay. That's the main thing, really. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm waiting for some rubbers and another clip. There's some 1/4 inch rubbers that go between there and the mudguard. One there, and also another one of these, and some backing plates. They were not on there, as far as I can remember, when I took the bike to bits. Certainly can't find them. So they're either missing or completely disintegrated. Yeah, so we're just waiting for those, and I can get that mounted, see what it looks like, and then make a decision. In the meantime, I can get on and do a bit more rubbing down and painting, and get on with that. Yeah. Right, I've got the side rails all back to bare metal, so I'll just give them a wipe over with some acetone and give them a spray. Not ideal today. Had a few showers, but and it's not that warm. But I do need to get on and get this done, so just gonna have to hope for the best, I think. Yeah, let's give them a few coats of paint anyway. And a couple of front mudguard stay parts. These are actually quite rusty. They were quite pitted, but yeah, they are the original ones. While I'm in the painting mood, not my favourite thing, I'll start stripping this down. Don't know about the inside, might just need a bit of degrease. All the thumbprints in there, looks like a crime scene. Right, let's get something to start stripping. primer. I'll probably knock that back and give it another coat. Yeah, I think that white paint, I think that was primer filler actually, or filler primer, whichever way around you like to put it. Yeah, because once I start to knock that back, you could see where there was some quite bad rust pits around this area. Yeah, but at least you take all the paint off, you can see what you're dealing with. Yeah, there's a few little rusty bits around there as well. Bits of corrosion and them, as you'd expect, really. Yeah, I'll wait for that to cure, and then tomorrow I'll give that well, another coat maybe, and a top coat or two. There we are. There's a couple of coats of black on there. Can still see some of the, or see some of the pitting that's on there, especially in the light. Get around there, but you know, that is nearly 70 years old, so you got to expect a little bit of wear and tear, haven't you, really? I mean, I could knock it all back, I could have gone on with, you know, give it a few more coats, keep rubbing it down, could get some primer filler on there, but how far do you go, really? You know, I'm not going for concourse or anything like that. This is just for keep the rust at bay, and you know, for sort of, you know, daily use. Well, not daily use, but you know, not for pristine showroom polish it up conditions. So yeah, I think that'll be okay. Unfortunately, the sort of end of August now, coming into September, the weather's not particularly good for painting. It's a little bit damp, a little bit cooler, so not ideal. And I have still got some more bits to do. Yeah, I've got some bits hanging up here, got some bits hanging up here, and yeah, I've got to do these forks as yet, but I will just give them a little clean out inside first. There's a little bit of rust up the top there in that one. Oh, that's my head. See? As soon as I get a bike in with handlebars on, I bang my head. Yeah, same in there, although you probably can't see in there. Yeah, I think what we'll do, I'll get a couple of scourers, see if I can fix them on a bit of rod or something, and just give those a little clean out in there first, and then rub them down, and I'll give them a coat of paint. I say they're new old stock, and it's just a pity they hadn't been wrapped a bit better. I got quite a bit of shot soil damage on them. A bit of a shame. Yeah, can repaint them. We can repaint it. That's the thing. And what else will I have to paint? Oh yeah, headlight has got to be done. But I do need to work out. Well, I've got to cut some holes in that first for the speedo to go through. So until I get that mounted, get the forks rebuilt. Yeah, I can't do anything about that. I'm not entirely sure I need to drill holes, so yeah. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, clean these out. Well, there was only one scouring pad left under the sink, so I thought the missus wouldn't be very happy if I take that. So I've just got a bit of, oh, you know what I mean, that stuff. Can't think what it's called at the minute. Yeah, so I've got a bit of that, cable tied around a bit of plastic pipe. So we'll just get in with some WD-40 and give that a little scrub-a-dub. I think it's actually mainly at the top, so yeah, we won't go. Oh, in the words of Dean from Retro Mechanica, we won't go bananas. I don't think it'll need much actually. I think it's coming up pretty good now. And then this top bit is a little bit just in here where the seal go. Actually, that's coming up pretty good. Also, you need to give that a good flush out as well. It's just getting rid of that surface rust. Torch. Yeah, it's doing the job. I think once we start get some oil in there and the bushes start going up and down, I think that'll be fine. That looks fairly good in there. I'll give that a little wipe out with some paper towel, and I'll probably use the same sort of method actually. And yeah, a little flush out, and I think we'll be alright with them. Just been rubbing this fork leg down, and notice there's a little number on the top there. Pat number. I'm sure, well, I'm assuming that's patent rather than patent. Looks like 583192. Yeah, whatever that means. Yeah, no other numbers on there that I can see. Yeah, so just in the process of rubbing these down, ready for paint. I'm just going to disassemble this wheel. This shouldn't be black as far as I can tell. I've been trying to get the paint off, but it's quite hard when it's all spoked up, so I'm just removing the spokes actually. This side, 1.25" offset. Yeah, and that's the general pattern of it. The other side, yeah, taking it to bits does seem to be the best way. There's the valve hole. I don't think it really matters where that go. Yeah, close up of the pattern. Pretty standard. Yeah, I'm just going to take all the spokes out. They do seem to be coming undone, so I might reuse them. Nothing much wrong with them. I think I've got one bent one, could probably straighten. The rim is a bit, yeah, I might get a new rim. We'll have to see. I just fitted a tyre on there, new. I did just I forgot about it. I had it up in the eaves of the shed. Can't even remember what I got it for. But that's on there. sprocket has all been painted up. This tyre is actually 3.5 by 19. It should really be a 3.25 by 19 on the back, but the B33 had this size tyre on, so, and it's the same wheel, same rim, everything, so yeah, that'll be perfectly okay. It's just a little bit better profile really. Yep, so this is the brake hub, and this is a BSA Ariel hub, if that makes any sense, rather than the Ariel hub. It's got this plain arm here which has a separate sort of cam mechanism which bolts on there, as opposed to the one I've got for the front, which I think is an Ariel that makes sense, hub. You can see it's got a the cam's actually on the shaft, and it's got a separate, it's a bit loose, need sorting out. Yeah, got a separate lever or arm on there, but it's basically the same. So, all the other bits are the same. The other interesting thing about these is they have this adjuster here. This expands, little cam in there, expands these out to adjust your rear brake. And yeah, I think the method for adjustment is tighten that up until the shoes touch the drum, so it won't go no further, in other words, then back it off one click, and they should be good to go. These are, I don't know if they're the original or they're fairly original shoes on there. They're a little bit, not as bad as the front ones, but they're a little bit glazed, although there's plenty of wear on them, so I'm not going to change those just yet. And if you do want to change them, they're on like an exchange basis. You basically take your old ones in and swap them for some new ones, or some relined ones. Yeah, I'm not going to mess around with these these shoes, because they are more than likely asbestos, so I'm not going to mess around with that. Yeah, we'll just have to see how good they are. If they aren't any good, we'll then have to obviously change them. But yeah, so we've got that. There's a stub axle in there, and there's a little spacer in the middle as well, or big spacer rather, in the middle, big cast spacer. And this is the other axle, which goes through there and screws into the stub axle in there, which is, that's the other side of the stub axle. Yeah, so that'll be ready to go in as soon as I've got the mudguard fitted, so I'm just waiting for paint to dry on the little little bracket parts that hold the mudguard on, and then I can get the wheel in. Difficult to do this one-handed. There we go. Right, so that's more or less ready to go on. Just had some parts turn up, so that was the original U-bracket. That's a new one. Looks like that has got some zinc plating on. These are sort of back plate brackets. They don't look, I'm not sure if they're plated or not, so I'm definitely going to have to paint them. I'm not sure. And these are the rubber blocks. So how this works, so that goes around the tube, see that tube there, there's also the other one down there, hence the need for two of them. So that goes around the tube, that goes the other side of the tube, then you have the mudguard there, and then you have the back plate on the other side of the mudguard, and obviously nuts and bolts through. So I'll see if I've got some, I should have some 1/4 inch bolts of that size to do that, so I'll find them up, and also I'll get on and get a little bit of paint on these. Yeah, pity they weren't already coated. There we are. Right, I'm just going to have to hang off that one for now. It's a bit tricky to do on your own. Just got it hanging off a single bolt. Right. Right, that's quite awkward. Might even been easier to put the rear rails on first, but there we are. I've just done them loosely, not fully tightened, so I shall now fit the little sort of L-shaped stays brackets and tighten everything up once everything is in place. Right, just need to check if I need a spacer in the other side. In here, find another bolt. That's that on. Much more sturdy than the aluminium ones, and we've got all the correct fixings in there. Yeah, I'd say this one was missing when I first had the bike, but yeah, I was going to put the wheel in, but I'm thinking actually now, I'm not sure these are the right colours, because I think what I am going to do is a total rewire. Yeah, some very dubious looking wires in here, and this is mostly what was on the bike. Some I've added, obviously the coil I've put in. Yeah, so some of these wires I have put in, but you can see this here, pretty sure that yellow green is from a domestic flex. And probably this blue is, or the yeah, this blue and this brown, that's all probably from domestic flex. So I think I'm gonna rewire the whole thing right the way through, because obviously that's gonna have to be changed anyway for the new headlight. Yeah, so that's the plan. I've ordered some wire because I didn't have quite enough. I'm just going to look and see if I have got enough just to do the rear section. I'll check these wires, but I'm pretty sure move might be correct, although that's on the wrong, it's not a ground, or an earth rather. Yeah, I'll have a check. I'll reuse that cable if I can. This cable here, I'm not entirely convinced that's right. I'll just check the wiring diagram. Yeah, because I'm going to have to run the wire under there, the cable under there, before I put the wheel in. It's been going to be a little bit easier. So I'll just go and check that. If we can do that, I will. I'll get the wheel in. If not, I think that'll probably be it for this video. I suppose I could fit the rear unit. We'll see. No, because I've got to get the cable through there. I'm not sure. Yeah, if I can do that. Yeah, so possibly. Oh, I've got to put this on as well, haven't I? The seat mounting bracket, which is all a little bit bent up. I think I need to do a little bit of straightening on that. Might just do that off camera. Yeah, so that can then go on here. So yeah, that's much better, much stronger anyway. Right, there's all the wires for the tail light. Should only be two really, according to the wiring diagram. Brown for the stop and black is for the tail, but I do like to run an earth wire, so rather than relying on the chassis. Yeah, so I'm just using a red, because red is not used in the BSA diagram at all, so we'll know exactly what that is. Red for positive earth, stop and tail. So that's all ready for when the rear bit goes on. This bit here, I am just going to give that a little bit of a clean up, a little bit of a polish up, because that's easier to do it if you take this off if not, that will get discoloured, get sort of polishing that or anything. Yeah, so I think I'll give it a little T-cut as well, and then that can go on, and the tail light, and then the wheel can go in. Oh, and the other thing is the little loops in here. There was only one that had rusted through, so on that one I did just put a, probably can't see it up there, but there's a little P-clip, rubber P-clip holding that in place. But yeah, surprisingly all the other ones were still there. Right, so that bit of the wiring is done. Just the rest of it. Right, there we are. Rear light unit is on. Unwired in, all connected, ready to go. Yeah, I was going to put the wheel in. I think I'll leave that till the next one. I'm just thinking I can't do the brake pedal and all that anyway until the clutch, well, the primary is all sorted out, because it sort of gets in the way, the brake pedal does. So yeah, might even do, should we do that next? Might do that next before we go onto the front end, and we can get the rear wheel in, the back end to be done then. Yeah, that might be the plan, I think. Yeah, so, oh, starting to look a little bit different, or a little bit more how it should look anyway. Yeah, still got to sort out some seat padding, seat foam. Did have a quick look. I couldn't seem to be able to find a pre-made foam, so I might have to just get some foam and cut it myself. That could be interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I think that'll do for now, for this video.